They need a good point guard, a good floor general. I wasn't even in the stream yet. I'm bugging out here, man. I thought. All right, let me call Barrick up. Let's see what's going on with my boy here, man. It's totally unprofessional here. Yeah, I sent you the email.
All right, just give me 2 minutes. My sister called me. She has some kind of break. Just give me 2 minutes.
All right, no problem. All right. All right, so Barrick will be here within 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And let's see. All right. All right, so let's try to pull up the box scores and let's see what Giannis was. Even Giannis, I mean, his free throw shooting is even horrible, man. How are you going to play this guy in the fourth quarter? If it's actually going to come down to the wire, let's say Milwaukee has a bounce back game in game 3, and you can arguably actually say you cannot put Giannis in the fourth quarter. Can't do that. That's crazy. Can't hit free throws. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up these stats over here, man. Let's see, NBA scores. There you go, box scores. All right, let's get this up here. All right, so PJ Tucker, from what I was actually hearing, he was supposed to be the Kevin Durant stopper and the James Harden stopper, and the Kyrie Irving stopper. All right, he was his plus minus -9. Antetokounmpo -22. Chris Middleton 30 -30. Sheesh. It seemed like the bench with Jackson and I can't pronounce this guy's name over here, man. They were the only ones with a really good plus minus. That is certainly not good over here. Kevin Durant plus 27, 32 points, didn't play the whole fourth quarter. Plus 12 played Griffin. Joe Harris plus 25 points. Downtown Bruce Brown plus 7, plus 23 for Kyrie Irving, man. And listen, man, Kyrie Irving put so much pressure on your defense, man. I don't know how they're actually going to stop this dude here, man. It's just not fair. And I'll explain this to Barrick when he actually comes in on here. Is you playing for the dribble, he can pull up. You playing for the jump shot, he can blow by you. You try to run him off that 3-point line, he can actually finish in traffic. The same thing with Kevin Durant over here, man. And Blake Griffin, he had 7 points, but I mean, man, 8 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block. What's his name? Nicholas Claxton was actually sorry. Get something to drink here. Reggie Perry and garbage time was actually a +5. There's nobody here with a negative plus minus over here. Chioza played, and I'll go and actually watch those garbage minutes too, man. DeAndre Jordan didn't even play, and I still think he can actually contribute in some way, shape, or form. All right, so Brooklyn, listen, what was the score over here? 125-86. And how do you keep a team to like 80-something points you actually play defense. I was told all year that Brooklyn cannot play any defense. They're horrible defensively. Well, who says Brooklyn can't play defense? And some of those Boston series, I meant to do a live on that. Who says Brooklyn can't win ugly? Listen, man, we can win ugly. We can win pretty. We can definitely do that over here, man. All right, so that's the big story of the night. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 18 points. He had 18, and man, Drew Holiday actually had the worst plus minus of the team, man. Negative 27. Even Forbes over here, who's actually was killing them in the Miami Heat series. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, guys, let me know over here what type of adjustments can Milwaukee actually make here. This Brooklyn team is just loaded. I mean, Reggie Perry had a couple of threes, man, 2 for 3. Mike James, he actually had the best plus minus, man. Listen, and kudos to Sean Marks. And Sean Marks, I actually trust. Trust the process. I'm waiting for my boy Barrick to get in. And I definitely want to get his input on this, man, because he has a lot to explain. And so does the people in the actual media. Colin Cowherd, I'm calling you out. Can't play no defense, huh? You can't play no D. Oh, man, this is like an annihilation over here, man. This is that when you watch The Revenant and you see the bear actually tearing up Leonardo DiCaprio. That's what the Brooklyn Nets are just mauling him. So it looks like really the best series we're actually going to have in this whole playoffs over here is 58-57. I'm sorry, the Denver Nuggets and Phoenix Suns, and the score is 58-57. Now, once again, James Harden was actually hurt. And look what they did without James Harden here, man. And just, wow, 125-86. And this is really in garbage time. I mean, even in garbage time, they still couldn't score over 100-something points, man. This is freaking insane over here, man. The Brooklyn team, how much was Brook Lopez? Negative 15, 10 points. Hit a couple of threes. They're probably going to have to sit him down, man, because he can be really a defensive liability. And we seen in game one where they actually got him in the high pick and roll, and Blake Griffin was actually able just to go and dunk it. His lateral movement is not really that great. He's a good defender in terms of like blocking shots, but let's Barrett there. Hold on for a second here. Yo.
All
right.
Yo, quick question, man. Did you get anything from Trans Express today?
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so? You check the mail?
I'll check. I didn't check today. I didn't check today.
Oh, yeah, I got something from Trans Express.
For money?
Yeah, well, it's a booklet. I don't know if it's not money, it's a booklet. Let me know what exactly I could be receiving on that door. I had to read the whole thing. I just saw it. I got home. I didn't transfer it. Basically, information rented from Trans Express. People are employed by Trans Express as a dispatcher or bus driver in New York at some point between July 12, 2013 and February 2021. class period and are eligible to participate in the proposed settlement of the case captured for METAL versus Trans Express Incorporated. Case number blah 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 with litigation on the lawsuit. Please read this carefully. Everything is suggested. So,
all right.
So that's,
I probably got something in the mail. All right, I'll check it later.
Yeah, but let's see how this is. I have no idea what they're talking about. All right, so
yeah, I sent you the email.
Yeah, I got it. Let me get this settled in on here. Get my everything set up here. I will be with you right now.
All right, hang up. All right. All right, man. That was that was Beric, my partner, and we talking about some potential lawsuit money over here, man. That sounds good right there, man. A company that we used to work for back in maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Something is going down over there, man. We gotta see what's going on. All right, hold on, let's get him in here. All right, Beric is with us. Beric is with us, man.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Live stream was at 11 o'clock. I started this live stream about what time is it? 11:17. So I started this live stream. I gave a little breakdown and what was going on. So we're live, man. Beric, man. So you watch some of the game over here, man. I'm speechless somewhat. Not surprised because we know the weaknesses of Giannis Antetokounmpo. What's going on with the Bucks, man?
What's going on with them? I have no idea.
What the hell is going on? If I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I have no idea, homie. I have no idea. But the bottom line is this, my brother. Milwaukee's having a difficult time scoring. And it has a lot to do with two things. Confidence and the way Brooklyn's playing them defensively. Let's start with the confidence.
Whoa. Hold on, man. According to Colin Cowherd, they can't play no defense at all. What are you talking about defense, man? What the hell are you talking about, man? You're hanging basketball, man.
You're hanging all your information on Colin Cowherd.
You do.
Very nice.
He is the god.
Very nice.
He's the one with the big stream. I'm at the Fox show there. He says they can't play no defense. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, man.
Listen, the bottom line is, this is what we're talking about. See, we have the eyes here. You and I both wear glasses. Okay? Those two glasses, those two frames help us see further. The eyes behind the frames gives us an idea of what the hell we're looking at. And that is what we saw. We saw a combination of two things. The inability to perform on the offensive end, making simple plays, making simple shots, getting to the free throw line, making the referees bail you out on offense to slow the game down, things of this nature. You're not doing that. And allowing and of course, Brooklyn is playing defense. And this is without Harden, by the way. So, you figure, hey, by the way, this is the way things are going to go in the rest of the series. And where was Milwaukee all year? Why is Milwaukee waiting until now to show up like this? Right? Because everybody else, they've been playing well. They've been scoring an average of 121 points a game. Where's that average? They're not even meeting the average now. So it's a combination of a lack of confidence. They're not making their plays. They're not getting to their spots. The ball's not moving around. You just don't see anybody loosey-goosey. No one is raising everyone else's expectations. No one's saying, come on, let's go. We got a chance. Is this, that, and the third? Nothing.
All right, so I started this live stream at 11 o'clock, and I did about a 10-minute breakdown. And one of the things I was actually saying with Milwaukee was they're lacking a point guard, like somebody that could actually go out there.
Drew Holiday, bro.
He's not really a point in a sense, though. I mean, he's not a point guard. He plays point guard. He's not a CP3 in a sense. So I don't see no communication. Now, listen, leadership too, man. When Brooklyn's hitting all these threes, man, you see this a lot with young players. When I was playing basketball out there, and teams just start hitting threes and just like, oh, they soak their heads. Man, you gotta galvanize them. You say, hey, don't worry about it. Just keep playing. And hopefully, they'll cool off in a sense, though, and you can actually get back in the game. But Brooklyn, man, it's just, I don't know, man. They're just hitting all these threes, the defense. And what I was comparing it to was the New York City Marathon. And for the people that doesn't live in New York City, you start from Staten Island, you go to Brooklyn, you go through Queens, you go through the Bronx.
Are you getting somewhere with this? Okay.
And you don't want to go running out the gate. It's a marathon. You want to take your time. And then when you come towards that finish line, then you start going hard the last 3 or 4 miles. So Brooklyn actually took this whole season as a marathon. And if you're a garbage team, like with really no talent, like the Lakers, then I can understand you wanting to go hard, But, here, Milwaukee, PJ Tucker, Barrick, negative. I got the scores on. I had the box score up here. PJ Tucker, -9. Giannis, -22. Middleton, -30. They're plus minus over here. Brook Lopez, -15. Drew Holiday, -27. He only had 3 assists, played 34 minutes. That's your point guard for you?
Yeah, that's your point guard right now, because who else is going to play the position, my brother? I know you're trying to sound a little facetious on it, but don't. I mean, the bottom line is this. This is the guy you brought in when the offseason, when you had to convince Giannis to stay. When Giannis was contemplating moving on, Milwaukee had to make certain personnel decisions that were going to make them more competitive and more difficult to play in the postseason. Yes or no? That's what they did. Drew Holiday was available. So you went out and got him. Okay, so you're playing Brooklyn, all of a sudden he's no good? That's not the way it works, bro.
I'm just saying the weaknesses from what I've seen these last couple of games, they need a good floor general like a CP3.
They need to play defense.
Remember he was argued to go there. Remember Barrick last year and like November, December.
Who? Drew Holiday?
No, Chris Paul. And they say, oh, he's owed way too much money on his contract. Blah blah blah.
He's very expensive. Yes,
he's actually doing now.
Yeah, but Phoenix had more available cap space, bro. You can't compare that.
I agree. But the owner didn't really want to actually go out and trade for him in a sense, though. They didn't really want to do that.
Well, no, they went after someone who they thought was a little bit younger and spunkier, who they can basically afford. And I'm gonna tell you something. I said this 1,000 times. Well, not 1,000. Let me just go ahead and say it straight up from the hip. The 1 or 2 times we've done anything on the Milwaukee Bucks, we haven't done much on the Bucks. I always said letting Brogdon go was the worst thing that Milwaukee Bucks can do when they let Brogdon go. When they had Brogdon, this team was strong on defense. They were strong on offense, and Giannis just had to learn how to develop. Now, you just don't have that guy coming off the bench. Now you don't have that bench to support him. But I mean, when you look at the highlights of this game, they were hitting shots. And basically, the Bucks were zoning up. And that's the tip reason why this game went the way it did. You going on fast break and pulling up for 3-point shots. And the shots were falling. Had they not fell, it might have been a more closer game. So that's why I say, you can criticize Drew and you can criticize the way Milwaukee's playing. But Brooklyn was hitting their jump shots from way out. They were hitting a lot of their jump shots. If they weren't hitting their jump shots, this game would have been a lot more close. I'm not saying Brooklyn would have lost. I'm just saying it would have been more competitive. So what does that mean for Milwaukee?
Competitive is the key thing, man. You're right about
that. Well, yeah, but you can't do anything if that ball's falling on the basket, bro. I mean, when I said to you on our personal conversation, I said, listen, I could be on you like funk on doo-doo. And I could guard you from half court. But if you take the shot and you hitting it 3 out of 5, I'm on you. I'm playing defense, but you're still hitting the shots. Ain't nothing we can do about that. But Milwaukee was playing zone. They weren't playing man-to-man tonight. You want them to play man-to-man, and they're going to definitely get blown out the building. They have better options to zone up.
All right, Budenholzer, what's the adjustments for Game 3?
I told you. That ball is going to have to move around. You're going to have to put Giannis in position to be more successful because they didn't do much of it tonight. I seen Drew Holiday and other guys taking more shots in a sense. But this is what you're going to have to do. Move the ball around. Put Giannis in position to be successful by putting him in the box. You want to sweep him around, get him some decent looks at the basket. You want to put him in a position where he has advantages on offense. You don't want him running around on defense and tiring them out. Drew Holiday is going to have to learn how to organize that offense. More or less not look for a shot first, but take the more high percentage shot. And I guess right now you're going to have to mix it up. Don't just play zone all night. You're going to have to man up at some point.
Get up in KD's face.
Yeah,
Get up in Harden's face.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard. It's so. Now I was just saying with Kyrie, man. He's just. I'm watching him these these last couple of games, and what I meant to say, because I wrote some notes down, was like, all right, Kyrie, the first game made some really, really tough shots. Then I'm like, all right, he's not going to be able to do that in game 2, but game 3, yes, he can. I mean, the same shots he actually takes, he's not going to miss them back-to-back games. I've been watching them for the last 2 years he's been here.
I wouldn't say not because I've seen him have the same opportunities before and miss the shots.
Kyrie just puts so much pressure on your defense, man. I mean, if you try to play him too close, he just blows right by you. Then you got to give him space, and he can just hit that three-pointer. So how you stop him in a sense, though, man?
I said, you're going to have to get him at half court. I've seen the way he's been playing these first 2 games. He gets the ball. He's running up the floor. You're going to have to get him at half court. You're going to have to pressure them. I've always said this, and I learned this when I was playing basketball. I watched it being coached. When you got a guy that's penetrating and able to get the basketball over the half-court margin with at least 5 to 6 seconds into the offense, that's pressure on the defense. But when you can get your guy and pressure the basketball and force them to pass the ball more than what they were willing to do, you give yourself a fighting chance. Now, again, if they hit the shots, oh, well, at least you were there to defend them. You're down 0-2. If you're Milwaukee, you're going to have to pressure the ball. Pressure the ball. You know, I was watching this movie called Coach Carter with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, I seen
that movie. Okay, that's based off a true story. Based off a true story. He had to straighten those guys out. And when he did that game, he had them running. On defense, he had them pressuring the ball. Pressure defense. And that is the way you're going to have to get back in this series and get Brooklyn off their game, get them off their spots, is pressure the ball. Force them to pass more.
The problem is that Brooklyn is just moving the ball, man. The ball's not sticking.
Because you're not pressuring them. I'm talking about as soon as that ball is leaving the out-of-bound line, heading towards the half-court margin, someone needs to be up in somebody's face. And you know what? When you make the bad pass, what happens? You get turnovers because that's going to have to be your other points, not just focusing on threes and getting to the basket. You got to get to the free throw line. Make those referees call it and pressure the ball and try to get some turnovers. This is how you're going to better your chance in getting back in this series. If you don't do that, Brooklyn's going to run through the door on you. Simple as that. Because right now, it's not even about winning the series. You're down 0-2 going home. Now it's about getting game 3. Now it's about saying, listen, we can't afford to get swept by this team. Let's go back in game 3 and put it all on the floor. Let's see what happens. If I was Budenholzer, that's kind of what I would do. You know, that's kind of what I would do. You have no other choice. You can't sit there and continue playing zone and being passive the way they have on defense in these first 2 games. No wonder you're getting beat. Can't be afraid of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Go after them.
So you actually think that the Bucks are scared in a sense, though? Like they got hit in the mouth a couple of times. And
it's called of a theory, not necessarily saying they're fraidy cats. I mean, obviously they're out there balling. But what I mean by that is if you're continuously playing zone and these guys are hitting shots one shot after the next, it's kind of taking all the fire out of you. It's taking the enthusiasm out of you. It's taking that will and desire to go after these guys and go punch for punch, kick for kick. You got to get that kind of attitude back by pressuring them. Take the fight to them in game 3. That's what I mean. Move the ball around. Get to the basket. Get to the free throw line. Pressure the ball and try to create turnovers.
All right, so Giannis has actually been shooting horribly from the 3-point line. It seems like he's actually scared to go to the line now. Like scared to actually penetrate because, I mean, the free throws.
Because you got to look at it, my brother. We all know what's the scouting report on Giannis. Block up the paint. That's how you stop him. So if everybody's blocking up the paint, maybe he doesn't want to go there anymore. I just think you still got to do what you got to play to your strengths. If you're Giannis, you got to play to your strengths. You are that kind of player. You are a great player. You obviously create a lot of defense.
We know this is playoff basketball. They're not going to let him go to his strengths. So what type of adjustments can he actually
He's going to have to try because his jump shot is not there. But what else can he do? That's why, you see, go back to my point. Get to the free throw line. Get to the free throw line. Slow the game down.
And that can actually have an effect on the player's psyche. You know, so they got to figure something
out. In what way? In what way? If he can't get to the basket?
No, he doesn't want to go to the basket. If he can't make the free throws, then same thing with Ben Simmons. They said the same thing about Ben Simmons. He doesn't actually want to go to the free throw line because he's an abysmal free throw shooter.
Well, you know what we're not talking about right now, my brother, is the most obvious thing. Is the fact that Kevin Durant is the real sole reason why this team is where they are right now. Not Kyrie, not Harden. And I always said that many times. If Kevin Durant's not playing at the top of his game, even when he doesn't have the basketball, even when he's running around the floor without the ball, he is making you worry about him. Same thing with guys that I've seen in different sports, man. I remember a story when Lawrence Taylor, playing for the Giants, was so dominant that the Philadelphia Eagle quarterback, his name was Ron Jaworski, he called a timeout to find out where Lawrence Taylor was. And you know where Lawrence Taylor was? On the sideline chilling. Same thing with KD. Even when he doesn't have the basketball, you're kind of like, where the hell is he? What is he doing? So that's opening even more opportunities for Kyrie and Harden when he's on the floor to have these type of things. Of course, Harden's great passing the basketball too. So we're really forgetting the major point of it is you cannot guard Kevin Durant at this point. There's no way you're going to keep him from getting to his spots. There's no way you're going to keep him from basically putting his handprint on his game and in the series.
Yeah, and then you're having the Nets players coming up and setting high screens for him, and then Drew Holiday winds up getting switched on to him, and he has like 6 inches on him. You know, he's just
that's on him.
Yeah, now you actually have to go and help now, and it's just.
Well, that's the whole point, trying to get him in a position where you can do that. As I'm looking at the highlights right now, as moving forward and things of that nature, I cannot stress enough. I mean, what I saw at the end of the game is just these guys are basically taking jump shots and they're hitting them. But this is what's happening. You're zoning. You're not putting a body on a body. You're not getting to the boards. You're not pressuring on defense. The ball's not moving around. You're not trying to get to the free throw line and get the ref to call a foul. How do you expect to win if you're not doing all these things? You know, there's no way you can do that. Budenholzer, you want to have to do all these things and then some to get game 3. If you get game 3, I don't think it takes the momentum away from Brooklyn, but it makes Brooklyn think like, okay, now, if we don't get game 4, this is if Milwaukee wins game 3. If we don't get game 4, this will now be the best 2 out of 3 the rest of the way.
All right, so from what you've seen so far, can you actually see the Bucks beating the Nets 2 times to try to even this series up?
Not the way they playing. Not the way they playing. Let's answer that question up to game 3. You know why? Because even if Milwaukee wins game 3, if they win it by the skin of their chin, we know that's not going to be good enough to win the rest of the series.
That's what I'm about to ask you. Can they actually win 2 in a row? You know, or can you actually beat the Brooklyn Nets 3 in a row?
No, you're not going to be on 3 in a row.
Yeah, all right.
You're definitely not going to be on 3 in a row. I know where
you're going with this. You actually having the Brooklyn Nets close this series out in a sense. Maybe 6 games, 5 games, I think, probably.
Oh, man, you know, you know why it's hard to put a finger on that? Because you don't want to give Milwaukee too much credit, and you don't want to take anything away from Milwaukee because of who they are. I thought they would be tougher in this series as opposed to who Brooklyn played in the first round. So far, these first 2 games, I don't see that happening, and I put a lot of it on Budenholzer because obviously I didn't see much adjustment.
Yeah, so and like I've been saying this for years, man. Good coaches make in-game adjustments. Not get blown out. I know Shaq said it, but I've been saying this for years. And good coaches, no, seriously, man. And I got on Steve Nash a couple of times this year on that. You know,
right?
But he's actually made the adjustments. I've seen him actually making in-game adjustments or adjustments.
Well, he has a very good. He has D'Antonio. He has Mike D'Antonio on that bench.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a stupid person. I mean, he has a
he's not. But he has. Yeah. He's right. But you know what's smart? To build your bench of experienced head coaches, and when you have these type of decisions, you have good decisions coming from across the coaching staff. This is what's helping Brooklyn, along with the fact that he got the talented players on the team. I don't see Milwaukee winning this series, obviously, The matter of the question is, can they at least get 2 games out of this series? I
Now,
believe
you're
they
the owner.
can.
You paid Drew Holiday a lot of money, you know.
Yeah.
Are you screaming like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is going on? Are you like,
You sound like an old woman, bro. You sound like an old damn woman who did that.
No,
You know?
what was his name? That was from The Hangover 2. I forgot the actor's name. Like, what the hell is going on?
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
scream
yeah,
too
yeah.
loud, man. You know what I'm saying? Little
Yeah,
guys.
don't wake the house up, bro. All right, the bottom line is this, bro. You know, Drew Holiday was a better. When you think about the offseason moves they made, we all knew that
It's
was
better than Bledsoe. I definitely
right,
agree. It's an
right. So
upgrade.
it's an upgrade, and that's what you did. And guess what? Milwaukee finished 3 when they were supposed to finish 1. Milwaukee was finishing 1 seed the last 2 years. They were supposed to do it again this year. They didn't do it. They got out to a bad start. They had some injuries and stuff like that. They kind of cost them. They were unable to get the first or the second seed. Well, actually, they were dwelling with the second seed. But listen, Milwaukee's been that type of team. That's why I say it's kind of hard to say they're going to get knocked out in 5. If this team is close to what they are, this can go 6. But I don't see them beating Milwaukee. I don't see them beating Brooklyn.
Yeah, 3 times in a row. I mean, because that's what you actually got essentially have to do. You got to beat Brooklyn 3 times in a row. And listen, this actually answers all of those people saying that they actually needed James Harden to actually win. Kyrie and Kevin Durant cannot do it by themselves. I mean, them alone in a sense, though.
Well, that's the speculation. That's the speculation.
Yeah.
That's the speculation. But I'll tell you one thing, though. If Kevin Durant goes down, you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Okay? And these Brooklyn fans say, don't say all that. I'm not saying it. But I'm calling the obvious.
It's possible. I mean, listen, the way these guys got to get up early in the morning, take a COVID test, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Their bodies don't really get a chance to really.
Listen, understandable. That's a 7-footer that's able to put the ball on the floor and shoot it. Harden and Kyrie are not 7-footers. I'll tell you right now, you're going to lose that if Kevin Durant goes down. But then if Kevin Durant goes down,
we don't want to speak that into existence now, man.
No, you don't. But you know what? This is a team that is starting to be healthy. I mean, I guess for the most part, because with Harden going down, again, that proves that this team is not fully healthy, but they will be healthy or healthy enough to win it. But, you just don't want to see certain players go down. But in regards to Milwaukee, listen, they'll worry about next year when they get knocked out. It's just how you go down. You go down swinging, or you gonna go down getting fun with it.
Definitely do a show on that, man. It's like the Milwaukee Bucks off-season move. What can they actually do over here, man?
Go after Damian Lillard. Man. That's what everybody else is gonna do. They're gonna try to see they can get
Lillard
Dame.
actually wants Jason Kidd. He wants to stay in Portland, but his contingency is in Jason Kidd must sign.
And I respect Dame for that because he's doing what I've been preaching forever. Stick with your team and let them build it for you. What happened right now is
come on, man. Sometimes you got incompetent general managers. You know that.
Well, listen, Portland has been relevant every freaking year.
Look at Mark Cuban. He can't even get a true number 2 to Dallas. No state tax. Great weather. It depends. Can't develop players.
Doesn't Cuban have a championship though?
One championship, bro. Come on.
Hey. I'm sorry. Does Brooklyn have a championship right now?
No, they don't. But they're gonna get definitely gonna get it this year, man.
Okay, so then you're gonna change your thinking once you get it. See, that's
I guess.
Okay, all right. So there ain't no guess. You are. The bottom line is you are judged by how you run that franchise. See, Dolan can't say nothing because Dolan hasn't won anything. All right, but Cuban can because he has won something. But you're right. There's no state tax over there, and obviously Porzingis is not the number 2 guy. Obviously Hardaway Jr. is not the number 2 guy. And Luka has to do it himself. So who else is out there that you might try to see if you can dwindle and throw a little carrot out there? Damian Lillard. You can get Damian over there to Dallas. Woo! Forget about it. Here we go. And don't forget Denver's in the mix with the Joker. And obviously when Murray come back next year, that team's going to be strong. I mean, everybody's going to be getting better as long as they stay healthy. That's not even a problem. Brooklyn right now is going to be what it is. They're going to have this season. Hopefully it'll get next season. And then after that, who knows? Everyone else has to get better around them. But Milwaukee is one of those Eastern Conference teams that will be here to stay. But this is what they can do. They have Middleton, and they have Drew Holiday, and they have obviously Giannis, and that is their big three. And their big three has put them in the third position, but now they're in the second round down 0-2. Okay, and that's the problem. Got to find, and you got to look at another thing too, brother. When you look at the top tier free agents, who out there can rescue you? Who out there right now can rescue you? That you can go out there right now and say, I'm going to give you a couple of draft picks out there. All right, I'm going to give you this player for that player. Who out there can rescue you? That's the whole problem. Because everybody right now has their star players. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, you said it, plural, players. Yes. Yep.
So,
all right.
That's the deal.
We're like 40 minutes into this live stream over here, man. We're going to wrap this up. And,
got half of it down. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I'm going to wrap this up. And if you're watching the replay of this, definitely comment. It was little. What's the word I'm actually looking for here, man?
Over the top.
Not thoroughly planned and didn't go the way it wanted, but ultimately, like Gangstar says, man, it's Rashid and Barrick at the end.
No doubt.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. All right, guys.